You're listening to
The Mariety Show.
The Mariety Show.
The Mariety Show.
Wiki the what? Wiki, 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 what are you looking for? What, wiki, what, wiki, what?
Welcome back to the Mariety Show. This is our second episode of WikiWhat. That guest last week, am I right? I don't know what order I'm gonna put this out in. So.
That's already funny.
Yeah, that guest. Woo, am I right? But today we have another guest. We have another woman on the podcast. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Today we have Bing.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I am a woman.
And she has an
Hi.
accent. I think it's going to be hard
Yeah.
for me to get through this episode because I'm not gonna know what she's saying half the time. A lot of the times with her
I speak
accent.
funny.
Yeah, I'm
we have a lot of, when we talk, there's a lot of, huh? What did you say?
I've actually been able to understand you today, like, so far, but, like, when we do the game nights and stuff, I'm like, I have no fucking clue what she's saying.
Yeah, I think it's because there's so many people talking at once.
Yeah.
I think my voice gets drowned out a bit, but also, like, when I'm talking to you, I try and tone my accent down a bit because it's really strong in person. I have a really strong regional accent, so I'm sort of just like, I'm trying to keep it British, but not too British.
Nice. Well, it's understandable right now. It's funny because
Okay, perfect.
I've been watching Daredevil recently, and the main guy is like actually he does the American accent, but he's actually British.
Yeah.
And once or something like that, I don't know what he is, but he has an accent that's not American. And once I figured that out, I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, I can't take this guy seriously anymore.
Yeah, no, it's like House. House has like Dr. House has like the most British accent ever. Like he's like poster child British accent, and he puts on like he's from New Jersey. I find it really funny as well. He's in
Wait,
Stuart Little too, and he
that
does
guy?
an American accent.
He's not American.
Hugh Laurie is very British.
What?
Very British.
Well, the name actually sounds like it. I never knew his name.
Hugh Laurie. Hugh.
Hugh. Oh my gosh.
British last name.
Oh my gosh. Well, today we're not going to be talking about British people too much. We'll be talking about a Belgian guy. You brought Adolphe. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Adolphe.
Adolphe. I think it's just Adolphe, like the mustache guy.
Okay. Yeah. Why'd
Adolphe. But his name's actually Antoine Joseph, or however you pronounce it. I'm Frenchifying it. Antoine Joseph.
Yeah, I would have just said Joseph.
Yeah.
But
Anthony Joseph.
yes, true American. Yeah, keep it American over here. What the heck? Why did you?
Anthony Joseph.
Why did you choose this guy? I know, but I'm trying to,
Yeah. So this man, as you will get on to, he's a very interesting guy, Adolphe Sax. He invented the sax, hence his name. And he's just had a very interesting life. I mean, there's surprisingly a lot of controversy around inventing the sax. There's a lot of controversy from God. There's a lot of controversy from the music community in France. So yeah, there's a lot to sort of sink your teeth into here. And I thought that it would be perfect for the second episode of WikiWhat.
And your initial article was like 10 pages long that you chose.
Yeah, no, I found another article that was about like there's like a sect of flat Earth theory where they believe that the Earth is actually disc balancing on a turtle's back with an elephant holding it up.
That's crazy.
But there's so much lore there. There's too much lore. And you already have a religious show, so
yeah,
the Bible reading.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't need to get into like flat Earth theory, but yeah. So I just thought this would be a little bit shorter, sweeter, and we're remembering a good guy, a decent guy. So
yeah, I feel like if this episode goes over well and people want to hear that, then I would definitely come back and we can do like a 3 or 4 parter just for the flat Earth Wikipedia page.
It's not even like, this isn't even the flat Earth Wikipedia page. This is one specific theory from some flat earthers, and it's like 10 fucking pages long. Like, it is nuts. Like, if you did you'd have to do a flat Earth series at that point.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. That would be awesome,
would be
though.
crazy,
next podcast venture.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so yeah, we're just keeping it to the Sachs today.
Hell
Mr.
yeah.
Sachs.
Mr. Sachs.
Yeah.
Mr. Sachs.
Yeah, very interesting guy.
Yeah. He
died in.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just I know you want to read the article, but I'll just give like a little overview. He died in the late 1800s, so 84. They don't actually know what date he died, strangely enough. Because of the circumstances of his death. I don't want to give away too much too early, but they don't really know much about how he died, why he died, where he died, what date. But yeah, he was born in 1814 in Belgium. And yeah, so yeah, we might as well get started with the article if you wanna read.
Yeah. She pretty much covered this first part, which was his span of living was 1814 to 1894, which 79 is like really old for that time. Then, I feel like
yeah, definitely was. I mean, the guy's not. He's a little bit of a mystique in terms of how long he stayed alive. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean, yeah, 79 considering. But yeah, one thing that I found really interesting about this little intro here, I did not realise that there was a saxotromba, a saxohorn, and a saxotuba. I had no idea that they were.
Yeah, so he invented these, and then he also redesigned the bass clarinet in the fashion still used to the present day, which is pretty cool. But he invented like the saxophone and all these saxophone subclasses or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what the fuck a saxotuba is. I have no clue what that is. Honestly, I don't even know much about saxophones, and they're like the basic like jazzy instruments. I have no fucking clue what this guy was on, but yeah, he seemed to have gotten around in terms of the what do you call instruments that you blow into? I can't remember, but he did
flute.
He did bits.
I'm not good with music at all, so I'm not gonna know anything if you ask me about like a scale or whatever. Like, by the way, I know the simple things, and I barely know the difference between like a trumpet and a bugle or whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like,
me neither. Like, I mean, he said he played the flute. Oh my god, the flute and clarinet. He played the flute and clarinet. Which I also find really interesting because this implies he didn't play the saxophone.
But he invented it, though. Well, I guess.
He invented it. I don't think he could play it. Which
True.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. Yeah, wouldn't you want to like, you would think the guy inventing it would become an expert, but it's like, I don't know. It's also kind of like, I guess like football coaches. They're not good at football themselves, but they know the game, so they can like direct it and tell you what to do. But it's like if you put them on the field, of course they're usually old as fuck.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the ER and you have a really fat doctor, and it's like, okay, why is this guy telling me what to do? But he actually knows what he's talking about.
He does. What is it like? Do what is said, not do as I do. No, wait, no, fuck. Do as I say.
Do as I say. Do, yeah.
How do I fuck that up so badly? But we could get a little bit into his early life right here, and we could start learning a little more about him. I'm gonna say this in the most American way I possibly can. Antoine Joseph Sachs was born on 6 November 1814 in Dinant, not saying any of this right. Oh, which in what is now Belgium. To Charles, I'm fucking up too, I'm switching those letters also. Charles Joseph Sachs and his wife Marie Joseph. His given name was Antoine Joseph. He was referred to as Adolphe from childhood. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're already off to a bad start here because why did they choose to call him Adolf? For what reason? Like, it
They
has
should
no
known.
relation to the name.
They should have known about
Like,
World War II.
Well, yeah, the fucking idiots. Like, come on, it's huge. How could you not know? But we're already off to an awful start because it's just a nickname, but it's a really unfortunate nickname to be given. To be just randomly called Adolf. I don't know why they decided that.
And
I couldn't find any more information on it. So.
And what's a bit odd, he died. Antoine Joseph Adolphe Sax died in 1894. Guess when Adolf Hitler was born?
No way.
5 years later, in 18. It wasn't like the same year, but they were not overlapping. Is what I'm saying. That's kind of crazy. Maybe this is like
close enough. Welcome back, Adolf Sax.
That is just like so crazy. I'm done. Like, Adolphe, he invented the sax and then he took over the world. This guy does look pretty young though. This is an audio only podcast, but I am looking this picture of him in the 1850s. So let's see, even if it was 1854. I'm sorry.
He would have been in his 40s. So
yeah, he would have been. He looks pretty good for. Yeah. I mean, maybe the camera did him justice, but man, he lived to be 79 and he was looking good in his 40s. Like, he didn't look like a grandpa already. Like, that's pretty good. Yeah, he had a little balding. I'm sorry?
Yeah, back in them days. That's really good going. I mean, people dropping like flies in their 40s in the 1800s. So, you know, he did a good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's see. Where were we at? Sorry, my bad. Okay, he was Adolphe from childhood. His father and mother were instrument designers themselves who made several changes to the design of the French horn. Adolphe began making his own instruments at an early age, entering 2 of his flutes and a clarinet into a competition at the age of 15. He subsequently studied performance on those 2 instruments as well as voice at Royal Conservatory of Brussels. This dude was like...
I'm really interested by that because why was there a create your own instrument competition? Why are there multiple of them? Because he entered 2 flutes and a clarinet. He made flutes and clarinets and then put them into a competition. What competition would you ever need to build your own flute? I don't know.
They literally had nothing to do back then, so they just made up shit like
that. I was just thinking, this is a fucking dull 15-year-old. Like, 15-year-olds now are out, like, drinking straight vodka in parks, and this guy was just making flutes.
I mean, I see, like, playing it and making music. I'm like, okay, yeah, but, like, making the instrument itself, like, how long, what tools do you have to even, like... Do you buy, like, a block of bronze and then just start smelting it? Like, wow, how do you even start?
I mean, you can make flutes with wood, but, like, I mean, sanding the inside of a flute must be so tedious. Like, we have machines for this now. I have no idea what this guy was doing. I also don't know if his parents were very wealthy, because I imagine he would have had a bit more tools than the average person if his parents were wealthy.
Oh, yeah. I guess, it does say they were instrument designers. I mean, maybe Dinant was, like, the world's best instrument production location at the time. Like,
I've looked at the page for Dinant. Like, I googled Dinant, and apparently the only thing they have to come out of it really is Adolphe Sax. So, I'm not sure.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about why he was like born into a family of instrument designers and shit like that. But yeah, no, I don't know whether he was born into wealth. I assume so, if they made, like, changes to, like, the French horn and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure his dad was a carpenter, so and made instruments out of wood, so he probably, like, passed the skills down to him, I guess.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. So. Like, he could have been building houses and probably, like, lived they lived well, I don't even know if they were poor. I was like saying that like they were poor. They probably actually made a lot of good money doing this. Maybe it's like the same as like making art, like, well, I was just talking about making the music would seem reasonable.
I've just googled it. He made the clarinet and the 2 flutes from ivory.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, that's kind of awesome.
Ivory, which is even more impressive because what the fuck? How are you doing this?
They could just buy ivory back then too, or they probably just had some elephants lying around anyway. So.
Apparently, at the time though, it was very hard to like do shit with ivory because he did it in his dad's carpenting workshop, which is one thing. But that's apparently it was really hard to do back then. So yeah.
Maybe I still don't understand the like this is starting to make a lot more sense, but I still don't understand the competition part. Like it's like, okay, he's doing this for fun, making art, but then it's like there's a competition.
He found like the one instrument making competition and didn't, and then he rocks up. Like everyone's made like these like other 14-year-olds have made like shitty guitars, and he rocks up with a perfect flute and ivory. He's like, yeah, I did this in my dad's work.
That actually sounds fucking awesome. I need to get my hands on one of those.
It's kind of goated. Yeah, it's kind of goated. To be fair, like I rate the guy. That is kind of cool. But yeah.
All right, now into, I guess that part was fun, but this part's even more fun because this is what I was reading about before. So I'm just gonna kind of read. I'll just read from this other article I found because I think it provides a little more information. But basically, this guy as a child, he almost died like so many times when he was a kid. His mother said that he's condemned to misfortune and he won't live. And why is that? Because his first serious brush with death happened when he was 3 years old and he fell from 3 flights of stairs. Some reports say he was in a coma for a week. Just to clarify, he didn't fall down 3 flights of stairs. He fell 3 flights, like the length of 3 flights of stairs. So he was like tumbling down, like I think he like fell out of a window or something. Because he hit his head on a stone when he fell. So I don't think he fell downstairs. I think he fell down like the length of 3 flights. Like he fell down 3 floors and survived. Either way, I think either way
he fell and hit his head on a rock. Like
that is crazy.
He fell out of a 3-story building and hit his head on a rock, basically, and he was just like chilling.
I don't know why anyone would try to dispute this, but it does say, while this is disputed, that he was in a coma for a week, which would make complete sense.
He was not in a coma! He was not in a... Don't say that! He wasn't!
It says it's clear he was badly hurt and was unable to leave his bed or stand properly for several days. So I don't know why anyone would try to dispute that, but okay, like kids 3 years old.
Yeah, like they're just arguing over it, like, I was there! He wasn't in a coma! Oh my god!
Another unpleasant incident occurred when he was 10. He fell onto a hot stove, receiving serious burns on his side. The same exact year as the stove incident, Adolphe fell into a river. No one saw this happen. And the accident wasn't noticed until a passerby happened to see him downriver, floating face down and unconscious. Oh my gosh! Like what the hell?
Yeah, he like hit his head on a rock and he was just floating there. I think. And someone like dragged him out and managed to like do like CPR, I guess. Which is nuts. Yeah. Have you got the other 2 notable incidents?
Oh, 2. I was gonna read this bullet point list on here, which there were other like incidents, including drinking a bowl full of acidic water, mistaking it for milk.
That's my favorite one. That is my favorite one.
Even if it's spoiled milk, would it taste acidic? I feel like I've had spoiled milk maybe once, and
though, like, have you ever been really thirsty and you just drink? Like, one time I took a cup out of the sink and I just, like, rinsed it a little bit, filled it with water and drank the whole thing. And it wasn't until I drank the whole thing I realised there was, like, laundry detergent in it.
Oh.
And
I've never had that happen.
I feel like that's what happened. Like, but at the age of 3, like, why would you? Who drinks bowls of milk? First of all.
Oh, I didn't see it. It stated his age in the Wikipedia article. Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this says exactly the same as what I'm reading over here, so I'll just go back to the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
So at 3. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe that was during his coma.
Yeah, no, he was 3. So at 3, he fell from 3 stories, hit his head on a rock, and nearly died. And then he also drank a bowl full of acid. So that was a really shit year for this guy. Like, he was going through it this year.
It also says later swallowed a pin, but I don't know if that means like the same year. Like later that day, he like drank the acidic water and then swallowed a pin. P-I-N, not P-E-N.
Yeah, a pin, yeah. Yeah, this acid wasn't good enough. Let me swallow something metal now.
He received serious burns from a gunpowder explosion and once fell onto a house.
I missed that.
Oh, I already read this part right here, but
you read that. This gunpowder explosion was new.
Yeah, a cast iron frying pan burning his side. Let's see. Several times he avoided accidental poisoning and asphyxiation from sleeping in a room where varnished furniture was drying. Oh my god.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that he probably did that first, had lead poisoning, and became mentally retarded, and that's why he started swallowing pins.
But then he was still able to create like ivory flutes at 15.
Right, I want to actually because this is a little bit of further research, but Adolphe Sax is one of 11 children.
Oh my god.
Parents.
Jesus.
8 of them died. 8 of them died.
What?
So
like when they were like kids?
So out of those 8, 4 of them died as children. The other 4 died when they were like in their late teens, early 20s. So these fuckers are like, they've got some like Black Death curse on them or some shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how they are dropping. Like, this whole family is just dying left, right, and center. Really unfortunate. I don't know how his siblings died. There's not really much information on it. But yeah, so 4 of them died as kids, which is common. Infant mortality was really high back then.
I feel like the parents are in on this.
They must be. This is what I'm saying. Why is your 3-year-old able to drink a bottle? Why? If I have 2 cats and I wouldn't leave a bowl of acidic water lying around because I know what they're like. Let alone a 3-year-old that's also done retarded things already to prove he's not safe and will kill himself if given the chance. Like, they must be in on it somehow.
Yeah, and I don't even know. I don't know what age this was, but serious burns from gunpowder explosion. Like, if your parents don't make guns, they're making instruments. Why would you even have gunpowder around? Maybe they all had guns, but like
maybe it was like, one of them muskets.
Yeah,
they've got like the little horns on the end. Maybe they made like an instrument out of a musket.
An instrument, maybe, or he was just fucking with his dad's gun.
It's like a Tom and Jerry episode. Like, he's just looking into the end of the gun. He's like, whoa, I wonder what this button does.
Oh my gosh.
Literally like a Tom and Jerry episode. It's so bad.
That's crazy. Yeah, this is like literally it. Especially, I was just reading this last sentence again because, like I said, the article like stated this stuff. It had a little more information, but him struck in the head by cobblestone and he fell into the river. Like that too, and then like he's just found face down floating. Yeah, like
he's just bobbing in the river like an autumn apple. Like another thing is, and this the Wikipedia article actually misses out a lot about this guy, which is disappointing. But the Wikipedia article is still really good. But he also got attempted assassinated later in life, which I'll elaborate on later on as to why, because the reason why he was attempted to be assassinated was nuts as well. But that's another brush with death. Like, this guy lived until his mid-70s. After it, not only did the gods try and kill this guy, but also a person literally came up and tried to kill him as well. I don't really know. Like, he's like a cat. Like, he's got 9 lives.
Yeah, I know he used like 8 of them during his childhood, or like 7, and then like another one when he almost got assassinated. Like,
yeah, there's also another thing, but it's mentioned later on in the article, so I'm not going to steal it. I mean, spoil it, not steal it. But he's had another run-in with death that's notable later on in his life too. So, obviously you'll get to that, but it's just nuts. I've never met someone so prone to. Little Sax the ghost is right. Like,
oh yeah, I didn't. Wow. I didn't say that. I don't know if I read that. Yeah, his neighbors called him Little Sax the ghost. That's So maybe it wasn't his parents. Maybe all the other kids died from something. Some disease or something, and then his neighbors are like, wow, that sucks, and then they actually just see the kid through their window just like falling out and drinking them acidic water. Like, what? But I will take this time now to take a break so you guys can hear a few words from our fourth wallers and our sponsors.
Hey, everybody, don't you know the game Mariah Money, now they're on the show. Let's hear all the fourth wallers' names. Hey, give her money.
Another shout out to all the following people. Thanks so much for the fourth wallers and the Twitch subscribers. Here they are: Frosted564, Caps, Not Tommy C, Big 8s, Matt Cat, Duchess of New Jersey, Singe, Calculator, Jigglypuff, Zag the Wag, Jellyfish Designs, and Flashy ABC. Thanks, guys. And we're back. How's that transition? It's always weird, like, when I'm recording it.
That ad break was so long.
Yeah, it maybe will be this time, actually. We'll see. But yeah, we're gonna start off with his career and later life. Do you want to read a little bit? If not, it's okay.
Yeah, I can take this, like, first bit.
Okay.
And then we can just, like, swap it through the paragraphs if you want.
Okay.
So after leaving the Royal Conservatory of Brussels, Sax began to experiment with new instrument designs, while his parents continued their business of making conventional instruments. Boring twats.
I have no idea what. See, this is the first time I don't know what you said because of your accent.
Oh yeah, I said boring twat.
Oh, okay. Haha. No, I was thinking the same thing, but like in a different way. I'm like, yeah, he's like going all out.
Yeah, in the American way. These boring punks.
Damn boring cunts.
Sax's first important invention was an improvement to the bass clarinet, which he patented at the age of 24.
Okay.
He relocated permanently to Paris in 1842. And began working on a new set of valved bugles.
I have no idea what any of this means, but he moved to Paris, which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know how Paris was back in the day.
I think it was stinky still. Apparently it's really stinky now. I'm just going to look at a bugle. A bugle's just like another curly horn.
Yeah, I don't know what a valved bugle is. Like a valve.
I don't know what a valved bugle would entail, but it's just a funky bugle, I guess. Yeah, while he did not invent this instrument, his examples were much more successful than those of his rivals, and became known as sax horns. So that explains the beginning, the sax horn and the.
Okay, so a sax horn is a valved bugle.
I guess
that's what it's saying. So. Yeah,
so it's like right.
So yeah,
so
this
he didn't invent it, but it's like a sax bugle. So it's like a subgenre of bugle.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see this. Okay, the sax horn picture is way more complex than the bugle picture. The bugle's just like, I guess it's like one noise. It's that. Oh, that's the one where they're like, like when someone's coming and they gotta let everyone know, and I think it's just one noise. So I guess the sax horn would maybe give it more like.
He's such a tryhard. This is why I don't make instruments anymore. There's too many tryhards.
He's like, yeah, guess what? This bugle has 5 valves.
Yeah, your bugle only has 1 valve. Mine has 20, and they're all wiggly and shit.
That's crazy. And it's made out of ivory.
Yeah, it's made out of ivory. Yeah, fuck you guys. Hector Berlioz, who I have no idea who Hector Berlioz is.
No
I'm
clue.
assuming he's like... Okay, he's another composer that lived in Paris at the time.
Okay.
He was a French romantic composer and conductor, and did orchestral works.
And he almost looks like Abraham Lincoln, so just imagine that in your mind.
He does a little bit, yeah. Yeah, he does look a little bit like Abraham Lincoln, but like the mutton chops aren't as goated. He was so enamoured of these sax horns that he arranged in February 1844 for one of his pieces to be played entirely on sax horns.
Oh.
They got like a band of sax horn players to compose, like to play one of his like pieces of music, I guess, that he made because he was a composer.
Yeah, and I see this is where the money probably comes in now that I'm thinking about it. That's why his parents did it. Yeah. If you get Hector to go ahead and use your new invention and he's the first one and he can get it out there, everyone's going to want to start buying it. So although his parents paid the normal ones, but...
I think that they obviously just saw that their son was autistic as fuck and went like, okay, maybe this guy's going to end up being the really smart kind of autistic. Let's start teaching him about ivory. And then he just kind of...
Yeah, these are the circuit boards of the 1800s. Like, just throw some wires at them. Just throw some like just like industrial machines at them and shit to make these.
Get him in the factory.
Start him young.
But yeah, this is probably my favorite fact about his instrument making career, as in his work specifically, but. His sax horns were made in 7 different sizes, and they paved the way for the creation of the flugelhorn.
What the fuck is this?
I love the flugelhorn.
Is this not a trumpet? What?
It's just a funky trumpet. I love the word flugelhorn. I think it's really good. I just love the flugelhorn.
Why are there so many instruments? You know what? I'm starting to not like this guy. He's the reason I can't figure out what like the difference between 2 things are. And then someone's like, "Well, actually, you see,
actually, the flugelhorn is multi-valve."
Multi-valve.
So today we still use sax horns, but not as often. And they are used in concert bands, marching bands, orchestras. You know, the sweats that play like nerdy instruments. No offense if you play the sax horn in your free time. And it paved the way for the modern day euphonium, which I don't know what.
It looks like another trumpet to me. It looks like another trumpet.
It's another trumpet! What is the difference between these fucking things? Oh my god.
Euphonium?
I didn't realise there was so... Euphonium. I didn't realise there was so many different types of trumpets.
3 or 4 valves. The other one has 5 valves. The flugelhorn has 3 valves.
It's another wiggly valve thing. It doesn't matter. It's another wiggly valve thing. Like, yeah, basically.
This is...
So yeah,
I just don't get
it. You want to take the next?
Yeah, I'll take the next 2.
Yeah.
Sax also developed the saxotromba. Did I say that?
Yeah, saxotromba.
That sounds very futuristic.
Yeah, it's like a saxophone. It's like if a saxophone and a trombone had a baby. But again, I don't really even know the difference between a saxophone and a trombone anyway. So it looks funky though. It does look funky. I like this one.
He created the whole family of this, I guess. So they're valved brass instruments with a narrower bore than sax horns.
Yeah, hold on. There's a family of saxotrombas. It's not even one saxotromba. It's like a family of them. Like, there's subgenres to the subgenre. That's nuts.
You have to make a bunch and see which one hits, and then you just gotta start mass producing the one that works the best.
Yeah.
And he did all this in 1845, but they only survived briefly. So,
like his siblings.
Oh my god!
And nearly him at one point.
The use of sax horns spread rapidly. The sax horn valves were accepted as state of the art in their time and remain largely unchanged today. The advances made by Adolphe sax were soon followed by the British brass band movement, which exclusively adopted the sax horn family of instruments. Okay, so that's
yeah,
good.
Of course we fucking loved it. Of course we colonized the brass band movement. I'm so annoyed. Why did we do this? It's our fault that, like, saxotrumbas or whatever the fuck they're called are, like, a thing now.
Wait.
I don't even know what a British brass band
I know,
is.
that's what I was just wondering. Like, is this not just, like, a normal, like, band? Like...
It's a normal brass band, but they all wear red. They all wear red and they have the British flag behind them.
So it's just British. That's it. That's the difference.
Yeah, they're proper lads, they are. Look at them.
A decade...
Wearing the red, speaking the Queen's English. They're right fucking lads, they are. It's them, like, wig ones. You know the guys that wear the wigs? Outside
like the powdered wigs?
I don't even... The Royal Guard people, they look like big microphones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I had to say. You knew what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, now you're speaking my language. I get it.
Yeah, big microphones on the Mariety podcast. Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that's like British brass band, traditional British brass band. I guess is the like Royal Guard and like army bands that play when the Queen dies and shit like that.
Boring.
So, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I can't believe they're using a French instrument for the British brass band movement. They need to be using proper British instruments.
This is ridiculous. I can't believe the British didn't create everything. I thought everything came from there. This is just crazy.
Don't listen to the propaganda. Belgian propaganda.
A decade after sax horns became available, the Jed Forest Instrumental Band and the Hawick Saxhorn Band were formed in the Scottish borders. Oh my gosh, there's too many things I don't know here. It's just an area of Scotland. That's what the Scottish borders are. I don't know.
Yes, that's like the Jed Forest Instrumental Band was like the 1854 version of One Direction.
That'd be
like
awesome.
that, they were like the ones. The Hawick Saxhorn Band were like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, they had.
And the Scottish borders.
They only had like teenage girls coming to watch them. Imagine.
Yeah,
were there any do you
like,
think there were any bands at that time where it was like geared towards teenage girls, or was it just like music was for everyone?
I think it was just for everyone, but imagine like you get teenage girls and they're just like throwing like their knitted cotton pants over like pants. I say pants like panties, like underwear. you say pants like trousers, right?
Yeah. I say it like that.
We're coming into our first language barrier here. Pants in the UK. If you say you're wearing pants, you're wearing underwear.
That's
so
not
yeah,
right.
That's what I meant by that. Like they're just throwing like their thick like cotton and sewn underwear. Like what?
That is actually really. I've never heard that one until now because I know you guys like usually would say trousers, but I guess I don't know what. Maybe I would have thought like bloomers or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's why we say trousers. So we say trousers because we say pants. Other words for pants, we say like, it's going to sound awful, but knickers.
Oh,
like
I've heard of that one though. Yeah, but I guess I've never heard of pants being used as underwear. Or like the word pants.
Yeah. That's why we don't say pants to mean trousers though. We say trousers because if you say pants, people just think you're talking about your underwear.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah. Anyways, do you want me to take the next paragraph or?
Yeah.
Okay. So the period around 1840, which I think is what you said before is around the same time that he moved to Paris, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. 1840, 1842 or something.
Yeah. So saw Sax inventing the clarinet bourdon, an early successful design of the
unsuccessful. Wait, sorry. It sounded
sorry.
like you said successful, but if you did not, then okay. I don't know what you said, but it is unsuccessful. I heard successful.
Yeah,
so
guys, this is really important. It was unsuccessful. Okay, he did not make it. The clarinet bourdon was not. It was shit. Everyone hated it, right? On 28th of June 1846, he patented the saxophone. So this is like his big one. This is like his magnum opus, intended for use in orchestras and military bands. By 1846, Sax had designed saxophones ranging from sopranino to subcontrabass. I'm not even googling this shit anymore because I don't even understand it when I do Google it. So.
They're just different saxophones. That's what I'm getting from all this. He's inventing subgenres of subgenres of subgenres of instruments.
Yeah, in addition to that, not all of these were built. So some of these were just ideas in his head. So he invented instruments that weren't even created.
Yeah, he invented something that's not real. That doesn't even make any sense.
I know. I'm assuming people just got fed up with the guy and they were like, "You can't keep bringing out all these new fucking horns. They all sound the same. Like, just stop." Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
He's like, I wonder why my horns aren't selling. Like, it's a new idea. He's just had like added his like 60th valve on it.
You know what? This must be. Do you know how men say like they look at two different shades of lipstick and they look the same? This is how I'm looking about these horns right now. Like they're all the same. I feel like an actual musician's like, no, they're different. They have a different alto and tempo, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. They're the same. It's the same shit.
Like maybe if I listen to like 1 valve versus like 5 valve, but besides that, anything else, it's like. I cannot tell the difference.
3 versus 4 valve, sub-contrabass, alto, contrabass, clarinet, saxa tuba, and then we'll be talking.
Even looking at microphones, Nico was doing research on new microphones, and these guys were like saying like this one is good for these kind of voices and this, that, whatever, and they did like tests, and we watched multiple videos where they did like tests on the microphones and on different microphones, and I'm like, I can kind of tell the difference, but like
who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe I was just like making myself believe I could tell the difference. I don't even know, but like I could tell there's something different, but like I was like, I'll listen to it either way.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
Once, but I don't remember a lot of it.
There's a scene in How I Met Your Mother where they save this like a 35-year aged like bottle of scotch, right? And basically, 2 other characters in the show accidentally break the bottle, and then they don't tell the guy who is saving it. So when he drinks it, it's actually full of ketchup and hand sanitizer.
Ew.
And he's like, and he's drinking it. He's like, it's magnificent. It's like nothing I've ever drank before, and it's like it's ketchup and hand sanitizer. That's how I feel right now. Like, there's no way that these people can tell the difference between these instruments. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like when people drink aged wine and they're like, I can taste the notes of grape and it's got a crisp acidity, and I'm like, no, come on. Stop it.
Yeah, it's definitely I guess they're gaslighting themselves.
I refuse to believe that this guy cared, like, actually had any sort of musical difference. So Hector Berlioz is making a comeback because he fucking loves this guy. Like, he's glazing sax so bad. He wrote approvingly of the new instrument, which is, I think this is talking about the contrabass clarinet, in 1842. But despite his support, saxophones did not become he's talking about saxophone, right? Okay. But it did not become a part of the standard orchestra. So at this point, saxophones are not like being used in orchestras yet. Their ability to play technical passages easily, like woodwinds. That's the word that I was thinking of earlier. Yet project loudly like bass instruments led to their inclusion in military bands in French and elsewhere. So for the classical orchestra music, I guess they weren't good enough, I guess.
I'm starting to lose it with all the instrument talk. I know this is what the guy's about, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, I I don't know a lot on this, so I don't have anything else to expand on.
I'm just trying to skip past it until we get to something a bit more interesting. Do you want to take the next one, or do you want me to?
Is it during the war right here?
During the Crimean War, progress.
During the Crimean War, 1853 to 1856, Sachs made 2 more inventions, though neither were ever actually built. There we go, another drawing in the sketchbook.
Okay.
First, he designed the saxotonnerre. I don't know.
Yeah.
A massive locomotive-powered organ, which was supposed to be so loud as to be heard across all of Paris at once.
Yeah, like, this guy's just a dick.
Why would you want to do that?
It's like, you can't say he's invented this shit if he's never tried it. Like, if you've not made it and you don't know if it works, you've not invented it. I'm sorry. You can't just say, oh yeah, I invented the saxotonnerre, the whole of Paris can hear it. Like, bruv, if you actually made it, it probably would just sound like a wind. Like,
well, now I want to make that just to say that I actually made it.
Just to prove this guy that died wrong. Also, I love the quote, "a massive locomotive-powered organ." I really enjoy that quote.
That is I just want to know, was it like supposed to be on the train, or like is it like how, like, it must be on the train actively moving. It can't be stationary. Like, just like a train horn. I guess that makes sense. The train horn is like one valve, so maybe they'd have like
an organ. If it's an organ, then it would be like a piano, I guess, right? So I've got hiccups. But right, okay. So the mammoth organ, whose pipes were to be driven by a locomotive engine. So I think that the idea was that on the train, you know how like steam comes out the trains?
Yeah.
The steam would play the organ that's connected to the engine of the train.
Yeah, so it would have to be moving. Like it's not like
the shit.
Okay.
Like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Like, this was never gonna work. No wonder they didn't build it.
Okay.
Bear in mind, right, we're at a very turbulent point right now in history at this point as well, by the way. Like, this is, like, only, like, 50 years after the French Revolution. So, France is rebuilding itself, and this fucker comes into France and he's like, what if I made a train that was also a piano at the same time? Like, come on. But yeah, carry on.
Sorry.
I've not got anything else to
say. His second idea that was never actually built was developed in response to the Crimean War's siege of Sevastopol, where the French military and its allies were locked in a destructive conflict. As a potential solution to such lengthy sieges, Sachs thus designed the Saxo cannon, a giant cannon whose half-ton round shots would be powerful enough to completely destroy an average-sized city. Does this even play music?
Disney villain.
And also, does he just love adding his name to stuff now? Because like he's done that forever, actually.
That just sounds like a normal cannon.
Yeah, it's just like huge.
Cannon.
What?
Oh my god, I'm crying tears. How has this guy gone from building a flute out of ivory to making a giant cannon that would destroy an average sized city? What is wrong with this guy?
I don't know. So that's not even the thing that people were mad about him about, I don't believe.
Yeah. So he's turning into like a dictator at this point. Like, he's got dreams of destroying cities. He's like acting like he's Thanos, right? Because he's made the sack. Bear in mind. This is what he's done. He's made the sacks. He's acting like he's Thanos. He's acting like he's got a bigger red button on his desk.
Yes,
and this isn't even why people tried to assassinate him. He got assassinated for such a stupid, well, attempted assassination for such a stupid reason. But yeah, it's so dumb. Do you want me to read the next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Two? So Saxe's reputation eventually helped secure him a job teaching at the Paris Conservatory in 1857. He continued to make instruments later in life and presided over the new saxophone course at the Paris Conservatory. Legal troubles involving patents continued over 20 years, which I am not surprised considering he's trying to make a giant cannon and a train that plays the piano. With rival instrument makers attacking the legitimacy of his patents and Sax suing them for patent infringement. I'm just going to scroll down slightly before I finish. Okay, right.
Yeah.
I just want to add, so there was, because this isn't a part of the article, there was something called the Anti-Sax League.
Sax referencing this guy, not like the saxophone itself. Well, no, I think it may be directly this guy.
It is directly this guy. So it is definitely directly this guy. So the saxophone was banned by Nazis. It was banned by Stalin. It was banned by the Vatican. It was banned by loads of people. I don't know why it was so. I don't actually understand why it was so controversial to play the sax, but so people hated it. I think it was because he intentionally kind of marketed it to military bands. And I guess that they wanted to be a bit more secular, and they didn't really like that, I guess. So his competitors hated the sax. They really hated it. I don't know why they hated it so much. I guess they didn't like how it sounds or something. But they really, really did not like the sax. They thought it was evil. They made plans to steal his design, set fire to his factory, and try to kill him because he made this instrument, and the normal instrument makers in Paris really didn't like it. It was threatening their livelihood, I guess. So they thought back in the day that saxophones were degenerate. Saxophones are like the early 1900s equivalent of Ice Spice at this point. Which I don't really get it. I think it's partially because obviously they're quite jazzy, aren't they? So it was used both for military bands, but also black people in America started using it for jazz. And I think that's how they kind of tied it in with degeneracy. But yeah, it was banned in multiple different countries for not being secular, for being degenerate. So yeah, that's why he was attempted to be assassinated. Because he made an instrument that was slightly too jazzy, and they really didn't like it because it was too sexual.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing I read is that I think people were just jealous for some reason, but this guy...
So he was making a lot of money at this point. He was making a lot of money from his an amount of money that made him arrogant by the sounds of things. Because people, especially military bands, he was obviously, if you're making instruments for militaries and whole countries, it's gonna get to your head a little bit, I guess. I mean, you can tell it's getting to his head. He tried to make the fucking saxa cannon, for God's sakes. He tried to blow up an average-sized city. So yeah, that's kind of what I read. But he kind of... So obviously he was attempted assassinated and stuff, right? But then he... Obviously, when people were challenging his patents, he was like, aha, you're not going to challenge my patent, I'm going to sue you for challenging my patent. And then he lost 3 times, and he was bankrupt 3 times. So he was bankrupted in 1852, 1873, and 1877. And obviously, even after he was bankrupted all of these times, he still didn't die until 40 years after, almost 40 years after he was bankrupted the first time. And then 20 years after he was bankrupted the last time. So even in poverty, he survived quite a while. Another interesting thing that happened is after he went bankrupt, he suffered from lip cancer. He had a tumour on his lip. So this is another run-in with death that he's had. He managed to live another 40 years after he lived with cancer for 5 years. He made a full recovery.
That's crazy. Did he have his lip cut off is what I'm wondering.
I think probably something like that, but there's not much information after him because he was so poor. He kind of just went and lived like a bum after this. So like he had his moment of glory, and then he sued everyone for trying to challenge him, and then just like landed in poverty. So he unfortunately passed away in 1894. No one knows what day that he died. But he died in absolute poverty, quote unquote.
Wow.
So he died in absolute poverty after this like spectacular life where he was making lots of money, making
almost
instruments,
assassinated,
military, assassinated, swallowing a pin. After all of that, he passed away from pneumonia in Paris at the age of, I want to say 79. Yeah, 79. So yeah, he died from pneumonia in poverty. And he was buried in Paris at the I'm gonna translate this and pronounce it in the most American way ever. The Montmartre Cemetery in Paris. That's where he's
I don't
buried.
even know how I would say that.
I believe his I think his body was moved back to Belgium.
To be buried with his 8 siblings. It looks like he was like never married or anything either. He just
I don't think he was. So he was too busy making cannons and shit.
I know, like what the hell? Like
okay, yeah, I think he is still buried in Paris, I believe. I thought that they moved his body, but I guess I'm sure I read that somewhere, but I don't want to say that if I don't want to put false information on the internet.
It's alright. Hey, you know, we don't even know what's real anyway. The whole Wikipedia article could be fake. Maybe some anti-Adolphe people like wrote this and they
But to be fair, from what I found, it's pretty much backed up. But obviously, there's not much information from 1957 onwards because he was broke and he was just living like shit in the streets of Paris. He was like in poverty, and any money that he made he put towards legal fees suing his rivals. So yeah, very unfortunate. Rich, something that's really cool is that his grave in France actually has a plaque that has like a saxophone engraved into it.
Oh.
Which is awesome. Really, really sweet.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. If anyone listening wants to Google that, 'cause it's actually really, really cool. So 100 years after he died, he had like a little plaque put there.
I wonder if anyone has defiled it because they hated him.
I have a feeling that we have a bit more degeneracy in this day and age to worry about rather than the sack.
I don't know.
I think.
There could be many people that would want to,
What's worse, Sexy Red or the Sax? Sexy Red.
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I said, what's worse, Sexy Red or the Sax? And then I said Sexy Red.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, that concludes the Wikipedia article for Adolphe Sax. There's a lot of different sources. They released a banknote in 1995 with his face on it, which was really sweet. I mean, obviously he died with nobody in poverty, so I mean, it's nice to know that he's being remembered still today for the good things he did do, even though he turned into like a wired cartoon inventor who tried to blow up cities.
And he doesn't really have a lot of like notable events here. Like, I don't know, he was awarded a couple things, but in 2015 Google Doodle did commemorate him for his 201st birthday. So I think that's
forgot about this.
That's pretty good.
I enjoy that they didn't do it for his 200th birthday. They did it for his 201st birthday.
There's probably someone who just like, they're like, oh, we should do this. They're like, yeah, and they're like, oh fuck, we just missed his 200th birthday.
I don't know what the Premier Grand Prix de la Facture Intermentale at the 1867.
I don't know if that was accurate or not, because I don't know anything about French. Like, could a French person actually say it like that?
I can speak a bit of French, so I can tell you that is at least like 95% accuracy.
Okay. I was like, that sounded pretty good, but I don't know if that was like you making fun of them or not.
No, I'm not making fun of anyone. That's just me speaking bad French. But I don't know what this is. The Exposition Universal. No, International Exposition.
Honestly, I just saw the number 1, and then I saw Grand Prix, so I assume it was like early F1.
I think so. World Fair held in Paris. Held in. Hold on, that doesn't make sense.
So it doesn't even look like it involves cars. Wait, they didn't have cars at that time. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what that... Right, okay, right. So, Grand Prix means, it's not specifically to do with,
cars.
Cars. It just means the first, I think this is, he had like a competition to do with, this makes a lot of sense actually. So, it means, if someone please correct my translation if I'm wrong or you're listening and you speak French and I'm offending you, but it means
I doubt there's anyone out there that's listening that speaks French.
Yeah, he won the first prize. The first place for basically a large instrument like manufacturing competition, like a big competition for instrument manufacturing. He won first place at the Paris International Exposition in 1867. So he won an award for that. I guess because I didn't know what the International Exposition was, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I also didn't see the year at first. He won the Chevalier rank at the Legion of Honor, which is a prestigious French order of merit in military and civil. So I guess it's kind of like a knighthood. So we got a knighthood, I guess. His house is actually a museum now, which is really cool.
Oh. Damn.
So I'll just read a little bit about his house. It's obviously located in Dinant, and
so it's his family home where he fell out of the window.
Yeah, it's his family home. So you can actually see how tall it is. So I guess he fell off the top floor. But he's there's a brass statue of him sat at a bench. His entrance is decorated with tiles. There's museum pieces. And there's saxophones in a variety of music styles informed by images on a screen. And it's open daily and free. So it's
free.
Just a little house with all of the saxes in, which is nice. I might take a trip to Dinant. So it's less expensive for me to go to Belgium than it is for you, because I live closer.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking at a picture of it. It looks very beautiful there. It actually looks really nice.
It is. It's really pretty there. So I feel like maybe I should go, because me and my partner are actually thinking of going because we've never been abroad together. I've never been abroad in general. I've never been out the country. So we were considering going for like my first holiday abroad in Belgium. He has a friend there who we were going to go visit. So like if we end up going to Belgium for our first holiday, I will definitely take a trip to Dinant. and have a look at the Sachs house.
Yeah, definitely update me on that, because I need to know. I need to see those 3 flights of stairs, or like the span of 3 flights of stairs.
I'll throw myself out the top window and let you know if he was being a pussy for almost dying at the age of 3. No, that didn't even hurt. But yeah, I don't think there's not much more information about this guy. Definitely not on Wikipedia. But obviously in his later life, he was so poor, no one really kept track of him. No one really gave a shit about him. He obviously was defeated by his rivals. So yeah, that's about it for Adolphe Sachs, I think.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. You did like more research outside of this than me. I just kind of got that other little article you got, but you brought some good stuff. I appreciate it, and this has been fun. Glad we didn't do that first one. We would still probably be like at the beginning of the first one.
There's too many jokes to make. Not only is there too many jokes to make, also I talk way too much, so it's just like we'd have to do like a good like 3-4 part if we did the other one. But yeah, I had to bring my A game for the Mariety show, my special appearance.
Yeah.
See if everyone can let me know if I'm annoying or not, and then you can let me know if you want to do a different episode of WikiWhat for the other one.
No, I think this is a perfect episode. This is kind of like not exactly like, but pretty much how the one with my brother went. I was like really excited to do it. It went smoother than I expected, and it's like, I'm excited to put it out. Now I guess it's just to see if everyone else is gonna like it, but I enjoyed making this. And
I did as well. I really did enjoy it, and I think obviously this is my first ever podcast episode in general. I've never been on a podcast before, and obviously it's nice to just talk about something that's a bit autistic and you can go on a little bit of a rant about. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think that we've not ran over too much either, have we? It's only been an hour and 20 minutes since the call started, and we had to set up and stuff. So I think it's felt longer than it has been, which is fantastic. It's been really fun. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Do you have any like social media or anything you wanted to shout out?
No, not at all. Like I don't really do much at the moment. I'm planning on doing some making a fundraising account soon. So when I set that up, if I'm on again for another episode of WikiWhat, then I'll let you know. But at the moment, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It was really, really good. I liked it a lot.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, this was awesome. And if you guys like Bing, you guys should tell me, and then we can have another episode with her, or we could do the Flat Earth, or we could do something else, or we could do a regular variety show.
Tell me. I'll argue with you.
But yeah, you can catch us both in my Discord, since I guess she doesn't really have anything to promote right now.
I mean, if anyone wants to add me on Discord, I'm just the Binglator. So yeah, I'm always just bobbing around in the Discord. Anyways, whenever I come on, I check the chat and whatever. So yeah, let me know if you like the episode, boost my ego a bit. And you might see me again.
Yes. Yep. And with that, that is all for this episode, I guess. Add the Bingulator, the Binglator, and make sure to just stay tuned for more episodes, I guess. That's it. I don't know how to end it usually. Bye.
You're listening to
The Mariety Show.
The Mariety Show.